Right, I'm with Chris Skyrme, Director of PR at Sopexa UK, and we are here in this gorgeous central London location on a gorgeously sunny early October evening, and we are here for a cracking wines from France tasting. Now Chris, firstly, can you tell us what Sopexa's role is in the UK in promoting French wines?
Well, Sopexa is a communications, marketing and promotions agency, and our role is to represent France for a large campaign run by a company called Skyrme, which looks after all wines from France. And our role in this particular instance for this tasting is to show the diversity of the French offer.
Okay, and what do you think people visiting today will be able to pick out from this tasting?
I think it's a really interesting tasting. This is the 7th time we've done this tasting. It's a fairly simple concept. It's a press tasting chosen by the UK press for the UK press. So every single wine inside the building has been chosen by an esteemed member of the British journalist sorority and fraternity, and they come along to see what their peers have recommended as their absolutely cracking wines. We do it in 3 different price categories, so entry wines, mid-range wines and more expensive wines, again to show all the different styles, the diversity, and the fact that that there is a wine to suit every pocket.
Is that what the French Quality Wines marketing initiative is all about?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the positioning. There is such a huge array of wines made in France, and our job is to show the ones in this tasting that the press have selected as being of particular note in those 3 price categories.
Do you believe that French wines are finally undergoing something of a renaissance in image terms after, once the new world came on board and everyone jumped on their backs? We're now seeing French wines come back to the fore. People appreciating the quality and heritage.
I think so, Alan. I also think that the whole of the soi-disant old world has had to really wake up to compete against possibly the more open and accessible wines of the new world, which focus on the grape variety. I think certainly in the 7, 8 years that I've worked at Sopexa, I'm becoming more and more excited about the younger producers, the younger négociants, who are really travelling the world and really doing their market research and getting the products right. And I think some of the wines that we're tasting today really show that very well.
Now, in your 7 years in the role, you must have seen, you've seen obviously the onset of social media. We've seen marketing techniques expand beyond, what it would have been in the past. I mean, does it make your job easier or more difficult when you have to embrace so many more different ways of communicating?
I think it makes it more difficult in a way, but more challenging, but much more exciting. We have to be more creative, we have to be more innovative, and as you say, social media and the whole of the internet is a massive part of communications tools now, and it's something that we at Sopexa have spent a lot of time investigating. In fact, across our whole network now, we have what's called a digital factory, so we have specialists in most of our offices throughout the world who act as consultants for us and for our clients in terms of how best to use the internet and all of the tools that go with it. So for example, for the French Quality Wines campaign, we have very much an interactive press office. We don't only just send out an e-newsletter, an electronic newsletter every month, which we've been doing for years, let's face it, but we have a Twitter feed, we have a very active Facebook site, we post stuff on YouTube. We use a lot of very interesting and innovative things to try and get the communication message across all media.
Cool. And are you seeing the fruits of your labours finally?
It's a good question. I think yes, I think so. I think there is a renewed, possibly a renewed interest and excitement. Certainly the feedback that we've had from this campaign from some of the key people who we work with in-store promotions, such as Waitrose. There's a current promotion campaign going on in Sainsbury's. The feedback from the buyers and the teams there is really positive about how they're delighted that France is playing a big part in pushing and promoting the products and working with them in partnership.
Well, we all look forward to seeing the results. Chris, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks very much. Is that okay?